A frequency is an energetic bandwidth. It's an energetic bandwidth that operates on a certain radius, right? Like it has a certain number coding. This is how I see frequencies. When I see into the field, it has number codings. It has a pattern. So every frequency has its own pattern and has its own coding. Now, we don't know that and we don't see that. And what frequencies respond to are our thoughts and our emotions, are our state of being. This is why we say you don't get what you want, you get what you are. And this is why there is no fairness per se in the world, right? Because if it was only about us being a good person, then we would get everything in the world. But it's usually that people that we refer to as evil or bad, what do they have differently than a lot of people that are good? Is that they own who they are. They own their part in this game. They own their own desires and wishes, whether they are perceived good or bad morally, it doesn't matter. And it is that frequency that they give out that the universe responds to. That's why you will see a lot of people that don't do good in the world, have wealth, have health, have all of those things. And a lot of people that do good in the world, they do not have that. Because it's not about you being good or bad. It's moral in a society, great and important. In a spectrum of the universe, it doesn't matter. It matters what frequency you're broadcasting and how then the frequency you are receiving back you're using into your daily environment, into your world. And this is what is the big difference and what we are only now learning.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Because I remember since childhood, we would hear the people who sell wrong things, who sell wrong products are rich, people who do the hard work never reach that point. So this explains it quite well. And how do you master these frequencies? Like, how do you, as you said, it is there and then it's up to you how you push it back, right? Push it out.
It's how you work with them.
Yeah.
And you cannot look at frequencies as something separate from you. You're one with them.
Okay.
So the mastery of frequency is about you learning to swim with them. You learning to be with them. It's like you envision yourself being in the water. And you're putting your hands in the ocean and you feel the waves. And you're just allowing your hand to move with the waves. You're not moving it consciously. You're completely leaving it there and you're becoming one with the wave. It's like when we are laying on our back in the water, we are not swimming. We are just allowing ourselves to be moved by the current. That is pretty much the work with the energy.
Okay.
So first, we need to know our own inner coding.
Yeah.
This is very, very important. From 2000, we have undergone a massive shift in the frequencies already, and it is very subtle and very slow. Right? So it started 2000, 2008. Then we had a shift to 2016, 17, and then the big one in 2020. And in 2020, we started to work a lot with the masculine and feminine energy. It's understanding those polarities and the energies inside ourselves. For women and men, we have both energies inside of us. Yeah. Then it was about mastering the inner union. It's our inner masculine and feminines coming together. That included the work on the father wound, on the mother wound. The mother wound is about the wound of intimacy. The father wound is about the wound of abandonment. How did this reflect our beliefs, our relationships at work, but also in our private life? And then it was the dark nights of the soul. It was the death and rebirth processes over and over and over again. The work on the trauma, the work on the ancestral imprints. Now, none of it happens linear. It's not like you do one thing linear, it stops to start the next. It happens cyclically. Then once we reach all of that, once we cleared all of that, once we united all of this, we reach embodiment. And from that state of embodiment, now you can learn to master your frequency. You cannot master it if you're not embodied, because you don't even know what you're mastering, what kind of frequencies you're working with. And why it is important to be embodied is because when you're embodied, it means you know who you are, you own who you are, you're not trying to be different, you're being you. And how do you learn about your energy? through certain tools that help us at first deeper understand. And that can be astrology, that can be gene keys, that can be human design. These are my favorite tools. Of course, it is dancing as well for us women to learn to move our body, how to feel confident and centered in our body. It is through breath work, can be as well. But for me, the most powerful tools were after dancing, right? Was astrology and human design. And you will know if you've ever had a proper reading, if you've ever dived into the self-research of all of that they are not telling you anything new. Everything you find out about yourself is something you've already known. It's something you've already felt at certain points in your life. So whenever I give someone, let's say, a bit of a reading, they're like, yes, that makes sense. This is why I always do that. This is why I always did this. So it's not like a surprise if I go, oh, I've never heard about this. No, it was always, yes, you're right. And it was the same for me. I was like, that makes so much sense. So once you understand, especially human design and gene keys, for me, I love them. Why? Because astrology shows you your overall blueprint and map. Human design and gene keys shows you your energetic coding. How are you individually coded for your energy to flow, to be in alignment, and what happens when you are out of alignment, your personality traits that you came in, your incarnation cross, what your purpose is, what you came here to do. And they're all interconnected in all these modalities. But when you know them, and I'm a projector, right? In human design, a 6-3 projector with a left angle cross of the clarion. Knowing that, reading about this has changed my life. And I've said, I wish I knew that when I was in my 20s, because I felt always different. I never wanted what everyone else wanted. Their paths were linear, and mine were like all over the place. And you feel wrong sometimes. You feel like you're not getting things right. So for me, it was honestly a lifesaver to understand that. And then once you know these things, start experimenting with them. Now you experiment with your energy, right? So you're trying to see, okay, how do I feel when I express my truth? And you keep expressing your truth, no matter under what circumstances, no matter who you're surrounded with, you're speaking your truth. You say yes when you mean yes. You say no when you mean no. When everyone has one opinion, but you know it's not really like that, you are allowing yourself to say it. You are practicing. So it's not like you're throwing yourself into cold water necessarily, but you start practicing. How do I feel about myself today? What activities, what people, what situations give me energy? Which ones take my energy? Where do I feel depleted? Where do I feel fulfilled? Observe yourself in settings. Observe how your energy impacts other people. Are you someone that calibrates the room, that clears the distortion in your room simply through your presence without having to say a word? A lot of people have that, right? It's the power of the energy field. Or are you someone that comes in, people move away from, people move towards? This is not about judgment, good or bad, right or wrong. We are moving out of duality. This is simply about observation of what is. You see, truth doesn't operate on frequency of duality. Doesn't care about right or wrong. It is. It just is. So you observing that without judgment, and just notice, write it down if you have to, or record it on your phone. Play with it. This is how you're mastering your frequency. It's like with everything in life. If you want to cook, you might have the skills to be an amazing cook, but now you need to practice, right? If you want to be a professional dancer, you might be born with the gift of a dancer, but now you're mastering, you're practicing your craft. Anything in life requires practice. And it's the same with the energy. So feeling it, understanding it, knowing about it, now you're playing with it. And it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. And mastering your frequency is all about living in your truth. Living in honesty, being real, keeping it real. And then also taking actions based on that. Not being afraid of it. Being bold, being courageous. This is how you step by step master it, and you will feel it, because you will feel so powerful inside of you. And it's this power that you dance with inside of yourself that humbles you at the same time, but also it gives you wings. So this is how step by step you begin to master it.
Okay. For me, it was being an Indian, it was always astrology, So since the time I did my human design with you, it was like So for me, how I can relate is astrology is like predictions, like superficial kind of predictions that they read for us. But with human design, it gives a confirmation. It's like you have more assurance, more surety that the path that you are leading is yes or no or change, So it's like a solution to everything that you're doing. And believe me, without the human design, it's difficult to just believe in astrology. So it's really connected, and it holds a very strong path.
Yeah, it's a very powerful.
Yeah.
It is very powerful because it really helps you understand, how you function, how you work, what comes natural to you. There are certain aspects like motivations in human design. Part of motivations are guilt and fear. Now, in any classical coaching or even in the healing work, they will tell you all guilt, all fear is bad. But when it comes to your motivation, to your psychological mechanisms, it has a very different function. Or then there's definition, single definition, split, triple, which means how does the flow of information in your body move and how is it processed? Some people that have single definition, like me, for example, I don't need an outside influence to tell me. My information gets the clarity by itself. How? Through my authority, which is the emotional wave. Once it passes, I get the clarity and the neutrality. For someone who has a sacral one, they have it in the moment. They get in the moment the
spontaneous.
Someone who has a split definition, they need the bridge. They need another person and information that bridges the information so it flows. So there's a lot of different examples. This is why I was never the fan of this one size fits all thing. It simply doesn't. It simply can't, and it just makes people sick.
Yeah.
And I know that as a projector, I suffered from so many things because especially this hustle culture. And I always say, when you're young, let's say you're in your 20s, you get away with so many.
Yeah.
Because you have the energy, you have all of it. But once you cross the 30s, things change. We are getting old, but the values shift very often. The priorities completely change, and you just don't want to do things. And then the more you connect with your energy, your true energy, like the more I was really connected with my project energy, the less I was able to hustle. And I come from a background of events and project management where it's all about, okay, run the event, you run 8-10 hours sometimes to do something. And I was able to do it in the past. I couldn't do that now, and I would feel I would betray myself. And one of the most powerful conclusions you actually receive with mastering your frequency is that you cannot do anything that goes against it anymore. Because every time you do, you get so punished for it. You really feel like you're betraying yourself, and it hits you hard. So you just can't do it anymore. It's like you build that bond with yourself, and it has to be honored. It has to be cherished.
Yeah.
So the frequency work is really almost like a marriage you have with yourself, with your frequency, but not the human marriage that we know. It's one really with you and your soul and source. And it's very powerful.
Wow.
Oh my God, that was a great conversation.
Wow. Yeah. But it's because if you would have discussed this with me 6 months back, I would have been, oh my God, what is she talking about? But today, understanding myself, my inner person, it feels like real.
It feels real. It is real. But it takes time. This is why I always say, there's a lot of teaching that we have to be so careful. We are in the age of Aquarius. It's information overload. And what is worse than lies is half-truths. What is worse than people really being embodied in what they're teaching is those people creating groups out of superiority. And that is the worst thing. Like, there's a lot of text in the Holy Scriptures about these times and about us people who are here helping in the transformation, helping in the shift. But the real work of everyone should be to bring everyone back into their own truth, into their own center. Because that is also another part of mastering your frequencies, knowing your truth, listening to the truths of your heart, drumming to your own beat. And you cannot do that when you have 1,000 voices and you don't know which one is yours.
Yes.
And everyone tells you, do this to achieve that, do that to achieve this. This is your 3-step formula. This is what I did. It's going to work for you. It might not. This is why I never have this approach.
Yeah.
My approach is to really look uniquely at the one I have in front of me, the person, the soul, because I don't really look at the person. I see it, I read the energy, I read the field. And through that, I see exactly where the distortion is, where, the energy doesn't flow, and I clear it. It's powerful.
Powerful, yeah.
Yeah.
So, for someone feeling lost in the in-between, what's one embodiment practice or truth they can anchor in right now?
When you are lost in the in-between, you're trying to escape it, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to feel it. And it's often a space where you're trying to fill the void. Oftentimes, when we are in this lost space, the best thing we can do is anchor into it. How do we anchor into a lost space? We begin to accept it and to feel comfortable in it, because it's from that space that everything is birthed. It's that void, that womb space from which everything is created. So one of the most powerful practices for me, for example, when I feel lost, is movement. So I either dance, I put on some music, I dance, I do my womb practices on the floor, I play my music and I do my womb practices, and it's like I visualize that void, and I visualize it differently depending on how I feel. You can, for example, visualize yourself being in a red room, in a red space. Maybe you can hear a heartbeat. You play music that fits. And then I do movements, specific womb movements for us women, hip movements. What also helps is yin yoga. It's a lot about soft movements. So when you are in this energy of feeling lost, of being in the void, you need to listen to your body. What does my body need right now? No escape mechanisms, no trying to fill the gap. Being present, which is sometimes the hardest thing to do, but your body always has the answer. So you ask your body, what do you need right now? It will tell you, let's go cycling, let's go running. Maybe you just need a walk on the beach, in the mountains, in the forest, wherever you are. Maybe you just need to play some music and dance. Maybe you need to eat a piece of chocolate. It's going to be different every single time. So the first step is listen to your body. Do not try to avoid it, but learn to start to feel comfortable in that space. Because the more you try to fill it with something or avoid it, the stronger it will drag you down.
Yes.
But the moment you surrender to it, that's the moment it can actually clear itself for you. And that can take a day, that can take longer. It depends on you. So don't put a time frame into it. But you within your body, what do you need? As I said, for me, it's the dancing, it's the womb work, it's cycling. Sometimes I just want to go out there in nature and cycle. It's very rarely gym. It's mostly outdoors. Because why? Our body needs connection. The moment we feel lost, we feel we want to connect. And what connects us more than nature? Nothing connects us more. This is why often a cycling trip, a walk in the forest, in the park, in the mountains, a swim in the sea, in a lake, in a river, connects us back to ourselves. And that is what I would really suggest for everyone to do as a first aid. And then more regular. Start feeling comfortable with the unknown.
Yeah. Nice. Does that make sense? Of course, yes. Because we've come here through Mother Nature and we forget it. We don't remember there's something called Mother Nature. It's just those 5 minutes walk in the green real grass that can help you connect.
That can help you connect instantly.
Yeah.
If you still feel disconnected, if you feel something is heavier, because very often also it is not us, it's something, sometimes we do have energies attached to us.
Externally.
So it's external, it feeds off us. So when you feel like the nothing is really helping, only short term, and then you go back into it, go to like someone like me or someone else who can clear the distortion, clear the field, you will automatically feel better. And then of course there is always an integration time, right? After 2-3 days you will really feel it. So this is where again the energy Working with your energy comes in. Feeling what is yours, what is not yours, what helps me in this moment. And you will feel when something is not yours. You will feel it's almost something like from the outside,
Yeah.
dragging you down, blocking you, whatever it is, you will feel it. So there is no one fix.
Yeah.
It's really the constant attunement to your body, to your field, that's going to help you move through that.
I hope helps people around.
I do also hope it helps everybody around. And yeah, we are in powerful times and really in times where it's about mastery. And so I really hope that this short episode helped you. You can always reach out, leave your comments below as well, and let us know how you felt about it. Maybe you remembered something. Maybe it triggered something in you. And maybe it just gave you enough for you to have the courage to start fully stepping into your own power, trusting yourself, your energy, and your body. Until next time, sending you all so much love.